This is going to be a small update. Good morning. Alright, let's not swear in Dutch. I know people always say that the first words you learn in any language are swearing, but let's not go there. Sorry. This is day 24 of 100 Days of Making Comics with me, Jan. I am attempting to devote an hour a day, every day, for 100 days to make my own comic book. And it's hard work, I tell you. Sometimes I get more done than other days. My day 23 video is still uploading since 9 o'clock this morning. It is now 11 o'clock at night. That's okay. I ran into some technical difficulties late last night, which meant not going to bed on time once again. And so it wasn't as painful as I thought it would be. Having to survive an hour and a half commute back home because of rush hour was, well, what can we say? It was very tiring. I can only write so much and draw so much on the bus, and I can only read so much on the bus. It makes me sick, so I tend to listen to podcasts. Sitting on a bus, sitting for an hour is tiring. So I got home and I made this. A little bit of story here. She's got nice hair. She doesn't have dreads, even though she's definitely one of the kids. But I think it would signify her elevated status. She gets all sorts of benefits being the right hand of the big boss downstairs, the taskmaster, who I should really give a name. Maybe Bob or Kenrick. Either way. And so before her demotion, I'd like there to be a little character moment between her and the other sister, the other girl, who, under the hard labor conditions of the vessel and working with lots of dust, like most of the kids, has got some serious dreads. Like, these dreads are not fashion items. They may look cool, and they're certainly a lot easier to draw. Which makes you wonder, why aren't there more Rastafaris in comics? But I think there'd be a nice sisterly moment between them where one is envious of the other's beautiful hair and how she gets to dress up while she's in rags, mainly for, protecting her body, if anything, and not getting nice things. So it would illustrate the difference in status. And so the demotion of one would then allow the other to get her nice things, but at the expense of course, their friendship. There are still some other characters left on my wall that I need to draw, and some I need to redraw. I really want to redraw the scientists of old. I did manage to write one page, and I went straight for the middle in my little book rather than continuing what I did the day before. I got one page done. I figure when they find the weapon, it's not going to be an instant killing spree. Like, it is a biomechanical weapon of some sort that grows, if you will. This is very much in tune with the template that I'm using, which is the movie Alien. I have no qualms admitting that I'm totally going to rip off this classic movie. It has been, well, I don't want to do the math, but it was in 1979 that it came out. And that was the first Star Wars movie. And that reminds me, there's a new Star Wars movie coming out. And Ridley Scott also announced that Prometheus 2 is going to be called Alien Covenant, and that there's going to be like another 4 Alien sequels. So talk about good timing to rip someone off, right? Like in video games, you would find, like, when you go through a place like this, like in something like BioShock, you find logs of what transpired. I'd very much like them to clue together what the installation is and what people there were doing, and find logs or videos or something that allows for exposition about what it is they were piecing together. And what it is they were piecing together then splits some people into groups on the sides of, wow, that's a really good idea. That totally makes sense. Like, these people were really onto something. Or that is some treasure they've buried here. Like, whatever the reasons for them burying it here. Well, they have to realize that they tried to bury it once they realized, like, the horror they had created. But there's very much a sense, like, there's very much a split of, this could be the greatest thing ever. This is a horrible thing, but someone's willing to pay a lot of money for something like this. To, we should get the hell out of here. So in the middle page that I wrote something along the lines of, bad things are going down. Weapon, the creature, is starting to take people. And this is the moment the rebels amongst the labor force, who see this installation as some kind of promised land, make their desperate bid for freedom and think it's a great idea to just wander off into the darkness in this installation and make it their own home, away from the pirates and the slavers. That, I think, should be the middle part. So that's what I've been up to today. Day 24. Small update, but that was half an hour of writing I got done. It was a 40-minute sketch I got done. I was hoping to get a lot more work done on page 2, but after the trouble I had yesterday, which I managed to fix. So I went to bed really late, but I finally found 2 hacks around my Wi-Fi problem. I always thought it was the provider, but it looks like it's both the provider. It also seems to be a Mac problem. Like, it seems to be a very common problem for certain Macs to lose their IP address and just to not regain the connection to the Wi-Fi. And so the hack I found around it, which worked, is close off the DHCP lease, close off everything, turn off the Wi-Fi, then delete the Wi-Fi, add a new Wi-Fi to your network, then turn everything back on, renew the lease, and voila. It's been uploading for a straight 10 hours without disconnecting. A full 1.9 gig, 30-minute long video, which I hope by now you've seen, and I hope you enjoy the effort I made yesterday. My day off, my last day off, because tomorrow and Thursday I am working doubles and I am training people. And then it is time for actually Friday night. Anyway, with that being said, this idiot is going to sleep finally.